Good morning, guys. It is 6 a.m. on Friday, the 29th of December 2023. I'm the CheapSkateStreamer and currently live on Telegram and also YouTube. Sorry, I'm a little bit hesitant. I'm just really tired and I'm trying to juggle two or three things at the same time just to make sure that everything is as it should be. That looks a little bit better now. So yes, as I say, live on Telegram and YouTube. Guys, be careful what you say. We can't take any risks this morning. So yeah, I'm always on my nerves whenever I'm using the big YT, because I'm conscious of protecting the brand, if you like, and despite the fact that realistically there are very few people actually watching this, you can never be entirely certain that YouTube isn't going to sniff you out through the medium of the algorithms and that sort of thing, and yeah, you could find yourself in trouble, PDQ, as you might say. So, with that said, guys, let's first of all remind ourselves of the link tree. So if I do that and that, hopefully whenever I hit the big button, you should now be looking at the link tree with the link tree link underneath and me in the corner, actually facing the right way for a change, looking towards the content instead of looking away from it. This is one of these things that I think you might say you probably learn with experience. So yes, the Linktree page, linktr.ee/CheapSkateStreamer. There are links there to Telegram, Rumble, X, Kick, DLive, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, and the option to buy me a coffee as well if you feel so inclined. Guys, first off, what I think I'll do is perhaps just have a look on the Twitter feed. It's always worth a little look, see who has been tweeting and what they've been tweeting about. I notice whenever I change page, actually on the laptop screen, the camera is actually it's responsive enough that you can actually see it. You can see the lighting bouncing off my face with the camera. It's just interesting to see that. So let's hit the home. See what we've missed in the meantime. Probably quite a lot, to be quite honest. I'm just looking to see there's something actually live at the minute. Shelly, T-Word, Hippie, check-in and chit-chat with Vax-Inge. Right, okay, I think we'll not be listening to that one this morning. The Gateway Pundit: Trump will remain in Colorado's 2024 ballot unless SCOTUS. Who is SCOTUS? Anyhow, unless SCOTUS agrees with the Colorado Supreme Court's decision to disenfranchise Colorado voters, according to a disdainful statement from Secretary of State Jenna Griswold. To be honest, that's a little bit too American for me to get into. That might sound rather cheeky, I don't know, but quite frankly, I don't really care, especially as regards Trump. After all, Trump is always talking about making America great again. Well, how's that working out for you? Um, so what's this one? Another one. Oh, this is a repost by TNT Radio. I wonder was that as well? It was. So a repost by TNT Radio. Blinken and Mayorkas fly to Mexico and discuss amnesty for the millions of illegal migrants in the US. I wonder what they mean by an amnesty. I mean, presumably they're talking about not charging them, but are they talking about giving them citizenship, or what does that mean? Right, TNT, gender critical gay rights activist Jack David discusses child gender therapy on Dean Mackin's show. Do you know what? Let's jump in and have a look and see what they are actually discussing. First of all, let's get rid of the big Linktree link there, so that you can see a little bit more of it. And we could probably do without me in the corner. Although I'll leave me for now. You never know. We might not stay too long. Let's have a look see. Anyhow. Sorry, I'm an idiot. I've opened the photo instead of opening the link. I am trying to get back. There we go. Right, so here's the link.
I'm going to give him some. Simple as that. What is it? A couple of $100 a year, but I think it's money well spent, because it is a guy, a billionaire, risking billions of his own money to give you a voice, and the EU is coming after him, and I guarantee they are in lockstep with the rest of the world. That is 1,000% going to be the case. But Claire Nowland, I do believe your name is, she is chafing at the bit, absolutely, to stop you from saying anything that she disagrees with. And of course, you wonder about these people. You know, they must think that they must consider themselves to be elite, to be not of us. They certainly have no regard for their own family, their own friends, or their own children, because these laws that they're passing, these dystopian, Orwellian laws, if you will have just change our society forever and irrevocably, and to the detriment of their own children, their own friends, and their children. And yet these people will do it. These people will do anything for $1. And I have seen so many people that will sell out their mothers, their fathers, their siblings, and their own kids for $1. So if you think, and if you don't know one of those people, and I guarantee you do personally, who would do that on that level, you don't think that someone for a few $100,000 or maybe a multi-million-dollar payoff job globally at the end of their political campaign or their media campaign, You don't think that they're going to sell out an entire nation? It really is ridiculous. It's quite sad, and it's coming your way. It's coming our way by way of misinformation and disinformation bills, and that's what they call them. But it is about everything but that. It is just horrific, and I just wonder how many of you are going to stand up and be active, are going to be vocal, are going to say no. I mean, at first it'll just be us getting banned and shadow banned. Whoops. Hey, they're already doing that, aren't they? But no, it's going to be fines. It's going to be jail sentences. This is how they get it in, by increments. You know, you get comfortable, you get used to it, then they take another step. You feel a little bit uncomfortable and another step. Jordan Peterson told us that's how we got from where we are now, from where we came from, 1986 to 2023. A short trip, but we've come a long way, and it's the absolute wrong direction. I think you might agree. Now, for all of the latest community events, rallies, marches, festivals, and fundraisers happening near you, then visit the What's On event calendar on the TNT Radio website at tntradio.live. We'll help you to stay in touch here at TNT Radio.
It's the stuff
What citizen wouldn't want to make American great again?
people are talking about.
Oh, okay.
Vilifying MAGA, it's just not going to work.
Today's News Talk Radio, TNT.
And I hijacked Gemma again. I suggested she might want to talk about Trump because she asked me if I was going to talk about Trump, and I thought she was. She's not. But, of course, they're going from state to state, and they're trying to get him under the Constitution. They're trying to say he is an insurrectionist. And here's the thing, Gemma, if you don't mind me just talking about this for 1 second. How can you go and use, is it Section 14 of the US Constitution, Part 3, I do believe it is, to say somebody or to prevent them from running as a candidate when I believe that always the top job was excluded from that. That never applied to the presidency. But more importantly, I don't recall him ever being charged with insurrection. So what now? I just say, hey, you're an insurrectionist. You can't run without any kind of legal proceeding. It is utter and sheer madness. And even the left-wing people should be upset because, you know, if they can do it to him, Donald Trump can do it to you. And that's what they need to remember. We need to absolutely ignore this kind of crap. But again, without some sort of conviction, how can they even run with this?
Well, exactly. And it's like what you're saying about, you know, the cancel culture of what you're facing in Australia, we're facing here with the online safety bill and incremental steps to, you know, protect us all and keep us safe. And the silencing of Trump is another example of this. It's like they will do anything they can, just like with the social media. They are doing everything they can to stop normal rational discourse. And what you've said is a very rational point. You know?
Right, guys, there we have the feed from TNT Radio. I'm just actually thinking you're probably getting a horrible echo on that if I leave that running right next to the microphone. So that's why I've actually shut it off completely there. But yeah, it's one of the channels I like to listen to, quite honestly, whenever particularly if I've been anywhere where they are still encouraging and insisting on masks and all that sort of nonsense. I like to put on a bit of TNT just to kind of detox, if you like, from all the stuff that you hear from them. I'm just kind of slightly perplexed that in my home feed I'm seeing very, very little other than, or at least I was seeing very little other than stuff from TNT Radio. I mean, I think I follow a fair number of people. Let me just actually check how many people we are following, just to try to see why I'm not seeing much more content than that, or else maybe TNT and others have just had a massive dump of stuff. Yeah, I'm following 74 accounts. So let's have a look again just to see what is going on. So the little image on screen there, obviously you can understand that. Hopefully you can make out the text at the bottom. I'm not going to play the audio because I'd be slightly concerned about how that might be perceived by various algorithms and stuff like that. But yeah, I do that. I like that one. Let's try and boost it a little bit. Share that out there. Look at that. From Patrick Henningsen, I think. Well, he's reposted it. I don't think there's any denying at this stage that realistically what has gone on in Gaza can be seen as anything other than genocide. And yet, you know, that is happening right under our noses. The world is well aware. There is no shortage of media to report on what has happened, what is being done. Well, aside obviously from those journalists who have already been killed, I suppose that would provide a bit of a shortage. It would certainly dissuade others. But as I say, that's being done right under our noses, and what is the international community doing about it? You know, have they taken any steps at all to try to prevent or even sanction Israel? So here is a little article saying 40 million Ukrainians must fight. Credited to regional governor. Hashtag Ukraine should mobilize its entire population to fight against hashtag Russia instead of the 500,000 recently proposed by Vladimir Zelensky. Nikolaev region governor Vitaly Kim. Well, Mr. Kim, are you committing your own family to that fight? Are you going to take up arms against the Russians? I mean, seriously, honestly, how many people are the Ukrainians prepared to lose before they admit defeat? It's shocking just what they're putting themselves through. And it was, well, what they're being forced to go through, actually, because they're being forced by their own side in most cases, as far as I can tell. Let's just actually make that just a slightly little bit bigger. Alright, apparently Trump is not not about to appoint Nikki Haley as potential VP, according to that. Now, this is a little bit more concerning, perhaps, this next thing here from TNT. Netherlands should prepare for war with Russia, Army Chief. The Netherlands should urgently get ready to face a security challenge posed by an increasingly assertive Russia, Lieutenant General Martin Wijnen. Let's see if we can see that article. Okay, so this is from the RT website. That's why we're getting the little warning. I'm trying to remember how I got around that in the past. Let's try that. No, okay. Right, there's another way to do this. Let's see if that works instead. Oh. Tell you what we'll do, let's try it again. Just double checking where I should be looking for that page. Because they can, you know, they can block. They can block RT.com, but there's always another way, isn't there? As you see there, there's always another way. And you know, it's okay blocking the original site, but it's a different thing to be able to suppress everything. Right, so as you can see, this is on RT, and it says here, Netherlands should prepare for war with Russia army chief. So this is being reported on Russian state media, and to be honest, kind of article, the Russians are attempting to kind of ratchet up the conflict, I suppose, in a certain way. So the guy speaking here is quoted as being the nation's land forces commander. His comments were made on Thursday, and it says the EU nation should strengthen its military and help society adapt to the potential hardships of war. The general claims that Moscow has designs on the Baltic states, 3 former Soviet republics which have joined NATO and the EU after it is done with Ukraine. Side note, I've not seen any such suggestion previously. Where is he getting this from? Anyhow, what he is quoted as having said is the Netherlands should not think that safety is guaranteed just because we are 1,500 kilometers away, adding Russia is getting stronger. Okay. If that's really what he said, he's clearly a military man. I mean, just because you've heard that there's an enemy over there, they're really an enemy and they're getting stronger. So he told the Telegraph, a newspaper, on Thursday that they must work on operational readiness, ensure we have enough deterrence to deprive an adversary of the courage to attack us. Hold on a second. This is from the Netherlands Land Forces commander. Let's just have a little look at the size of the Netherlands in comparison to the size of Russia. Okay, so in fact, let's just consider the Netherlands first of all in comparison to the size of England, even. So there you've got England, and over here you've got the Netherlands. So okay, there's a bit of there's a bit of a size to the Netherlands, but it's not even half the size of England. And then if we look over here, I mean, before you actually get to the Netherlands, you've got to come through Germany. You've got to come through Poland. And, on your way, you maybe, I don't know if you're going to get a pat on the back or a kick up the arse from Belarus or Lithuania. It's going to be one or other. But, I mean, if you come this way, right, you're going through Ukraine, then Slovakia or the Czech Republic or Hungary, well, goodness, they're not going to be welcoming, well, I don't think they're going to be very welcome in Hungary. But either way, if you came that way, then you're going through Slovenia or Croatia or Austria. You're going to annoy the Swiss. I don't think they're going to want to go through France, but hey, who knows? So that kind of just leaves the other option of Germany. Does anybody really want to go through Luxembourg? No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't go that way to get to the Netherlands. You would come through Germany. And just, yeah. I mean, I think this guy has, I don't know, I think he's had the good stuff for breakfast, quite frankly. Alright, let's just finish this to see what he says. So, he's talking about beefing up his military. I would love to know how many forces does he actually have. That would be quite interesting to know, in comparison to what they have in Russia. He also, listen to this, he also claimed that there is only one language that Russia understands, and that is the one of robust armed forces. I think we could dispute that. I mean, given the fact that Vladimir Putin is widely reported to have worked in, I suppose it would have been East Germany back in the day. It was said that he was fluent in German. Let's see what else is said here. The general who has led the Royal Netherlands Army since 2019 also described the Dutch military as crippled by budget cuts. is this what is really at the heart of this article? Is it the fact that the Dutch military, as the guy says there, is crippled by budget cuts? They know that they have not got the military to do anything at all should they be invaded by anyone whosoever. But this guy has to be seen to be doing something, so he is hyping up the fear. The Netherlands, which abolished conscription back in 1997, goodness, they took their time. That's only 26 years ago. They are now facing a glaring personnel shortage. Well, as you might imagine, not too many Dutch guys are going to be rushing to pick up arms to go and die on a front line somewhere they've never heard of, or certainly never been to. He spoke about the need to increase the army size and warned it could not afford to take any battle casualties. If we start to suffer losses, who will replenish them? The general asked. We used to have options for that, but not anymore, he added, noting that the Dutch would not get a choice on whether to fight or not in case of an imposed conflict. The Netherlands must learn again that the entire society must be ready when things go wrong. While his words do not mean that everyone would have to wear a helmet tomorrow, the Dutch people have become too accustomed to the idea that there is always peace, the army chief added. It says here, the Dutch military is currently running a campaign called Service Year, which encourages young people to enlist in the army voluntarily for 12 months. According to Wijnen, the idea has supposedly been a huge success, though he admitted that only around 600 people joined the program this year, when that should be between 2,000 and 3,000. He also urged Dutch society to improve its resilience, storing supplies, food and drinking water in basements so it could take the blow when the time comes. Dutch companies should also be ready to provide for the needs of the military if the need arises, he added. I mean, that would be putting a massive imposition on these companies to be ready to provide, on the off chance that the need might arise. How is that going to affect their ability to compete internationally if they have to have these extra overheads for preparations for war? The Netherlands has been one of the most ardent supporters of Kiev in its ongoing conflict with Moscow. The EU state was one of the few countries to pledge the delivery of US-made F-16 fighter jets to Ukraine. Earlier this month, Mark Rutte announced his government has started preparations for delivery of the first 18 planes to Kiev. The US, which is by far Ukraine's biggest single military aid donor, has long been reluctant to supply Ukraine with Western-made fighter jets. Washington only gave permission for Ukrainian pilots to train on F-16s and signalled it was ready to approve a third-party transfer to Kiev this summer, adding training should be completed first. Well, yes, it probably should. Otherwise, you might as well just blow the things up yourself. Moscow has never mentioned any plans to attack any NATO nations. It has only repeatedly warned that continued military supplies by the US and its allies to Kiev makes them de facto parties to the conflict and increases the risk of a direct confrontation between Russia and the US-led military bloc. I mean, quite frankly, despite the fact that this is completely censored in Western media, Western countries, I can't really describe that as anything other than fair comment. I mean, how could, you can't arm somebody and not expect to take a little bit of the heat yourself. That just goes without saying. With that said, guys, it is just after 25 to 7. It is time for me to conclude the broadcast. I will be back on Sunday evening at 9:30 for the first broadcast of the week. And on Sunday that will be on Telegram at t.me/CheapSkateStreamer. I hope you can join me then. As I say, pretty much fully recovered now from the technical issue that had plagued me a few days ago, where all the settings had been wiped due to having had to do a reset basically on OBS. But I'm building back better. Sorry, I felt the need to say that at that point. I'm building back better, hopefully. Yes, in the fullness of time, things should be bigger, better, slightly better quality, hopefully. And things are looking good. Certainly the quality looks better than it did, and I'm happy with that. Just actually before I do close, let me just remind you of the changes that there will be for the New Year's week. So that looks like this. Oh, here, I'm wrong. I am wrong. No broadcast on Sunday night. So actually, hold on a second. It would be good if you could see what I was looking at. So I need to do this, and this, and then do that. Oh, what have I done? Okay, I don't think I've done any harm. Right. So yes, as regards the New Year's week, as I say, initially I had said there I would be back on Sunday evening. That's not the case. Sunday evening is New Year's Eve. It has been wiped out. But just losing the one broadcast this week. If I take myself off there, you'll be able to see Wednesday as well. So yeah, this is the final one for this week. Normally I would start again on the Sunday, but this Sunday coming, no, it's New Year's Eve. There'll be no broadcast until 9:30 p.m. on Monday, New Year's Day. And then everything continues as normal after that, beyond that time. Guys, that is it for this morning. And as I say, see you on Monday at 9:30 on Telegram, t.me/CheapSkateStreamer. Thanks for watching today, and have a great weekend, and indeed a happy new year.